hearing regarding the property at 71 Moshbog Road. We'll move to department reports, including economic development, police, fire. Then we'll then move to our town administrator update with a bi-weekly memo. We'll then move on to action items, which include consideration and possible action on signing the ABCC Seasonal Population Increase Estimation Form and ABCC Renewal Certification 2026 form. We will then move to consideration and possible action on the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission Renewal Certification licenses that failed to renew for 2026, G&L Group License 08614-RS-1248. We will then move on to a consideration and possible action for a show cause hearing for Sam's Food Store. We will then move to consideration and possible action on signing a 2026 one-day liquor license for Alice's Fitness and Dance. We'll then move to consideration and possible action of the reappointment of Maura O'Connor to the Municipal Affordable Housing Trust for a term to expire January 5th, 2028. We will then move to consideration and possible action on the appointment of Keith DeVarney to the Sturbridge Tourist Association for a term to expire June 30th, 2027. We'll then move to consideration and possible action on accepting a donation of $250 from the Federated Church for the Sturbridge Fire Department. We will then move to consideration and possible action on accepting a donation of $200 from My Guys Heating and Cooling excuse me, what's going on?
I needed to drop the paperwork off with Fran.
Okay, you can come over to talk to Francis over here, thank you. And then we'll move to consideration and possible action on accepting a donation of $200 from My Guys Heating and Cooling of North Oxford for the Home of the Brave 5K. We'll move to consideration and possible action on accepting a donation of $626 from Deep Roots Distillery for the police K-9 account. We'll move to consideration and possible action on signing the one-year memorandum of understanding with the Teamsters Union Local 170 and the Sturbridge DPW effective July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. We'll move to old business, new business, correspondence, approval of minutes, citizens forum, executive session, and then adjournment. So with that, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I will then, I'd ask for a moment of silence regarding the events in Venezuela this weekend. I think there's probably a lot of different opinions throughout the country and the room on the actual dispute, but I just think we can all agree that we just hope our service members stay safe and that we get through this with everybody as intact as possible. So please take a moment of silence. Thank you. Public service announcements. Mary Lou.
I have nothing.
Mary Down.
I just want to wish everybody a happy and healthy new year, God's blessings, and to congratulate our town administrator who took a plunge into the Atlantic Ocean on New Year's Day to benefit Special Olympics, right? So that took a lot of action, I think. So very impressed.
Thank you.
No, but very impressive indeed. Way to go, Robin. With that, I don't have any either. I think we are a few minutes out, so we probably could not. What's up? Yeah, you go, Robin. That makes sense.
Just a couple of brief announcements. First, the town clerk has asked me to remind everybody that nomination papers are available on January 7th for anybody interested in running for office or any of our boards or committees that are elected boards or committees that may have openings. So please check with the website to see what's open and check with the clerk's office if you are interested. So January 7th is nomination papers are available. I would also like to announce that even though he is not here today, Selectman Kubitsky was named, and congratulate him on receiving the inaugural Massachusetts Youth Lacrosse League Boys Coach of the Year. So he was named Boys Coach of the Year for Massachusetts Lacrosse, and it was their inaugural one, and the quote was, "Chase Kubitsky exemplifies what it means to be a youth coach. His dedication to player development, sportsmanship, and team culture go far beyond the field."
Fantastic.
So we congratulate Selectman Kubitsky on that. and the DPW director has asked me to remind people who received a letter about the lead pipe review. We have been going through the town for over a year now. We have not found lead to this point in the lead pipes. However, if you did receive a letter, please follow the directions on the letter, go to our website. If after you go to our website you have any questions, you can then contact the DPW. But this is a requirement for us to check on lead services, on whether it's on the town side or going into the house. So it's part of fulfilling a requirement. We have not found anything of issue at this point. I do want to also thank our DPW guys over the holiday. They had a lot of hours of work. I guess over the past 2 weeks, they've ranged individually from 34 to over 60 hours of overtime through the holiday 2 weeks. So I know it's a tough time to be out working and plowing, and, you know, and while the storms were not big storms, they were sort of this nuisance snow all day, unexpected, come in late, snow squalls. We appreciate the public's patience. One of the things that Heather and I were dealing with over the weekend is Heather may not monitor Facebook during storms. She's not on Facebook. I tend to be on Facebook during storms, but you can always call the DPW if you have a concern about a road. She can then get a sense of if for some reason it did get overlooked by a contractor, or if it's just that we haven't gotten there yet. But you can, the public can always call DPW. So just a little public service announcement. I do try to monitor, like, Sturbridge Community Page. If I start seeing an area that didn't get hit for whatever reason, I'll text Heather and say, hey, what's going on with such and such a road? But DPW themselves are not monitoring Facebook. So if you do have an issue to the public, please just call us, you know, and again, I think what we said, it's 6 hours after the end of snow. So forget the plowing during snow. It's 6 hours once it ends to absolutely get through every street, just to give people a little bit of a sense. So varies on equipment, obviously the change in temperatures, whether it turns to rain, what we have coming in tomorrow night, freezing rain, you know, is that they're always sort of a crapshoot. It shifts 2 degrees one way or the other. But I did want to thank the guys for the holiday week. It's one thing to ask you to do it, you know, like in February, but I know it's tough sometimes, and the call back to people willing to come back and work despite the holidays. I do appreciate their commitment to the community.
Through the chair, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the lead letter, I think it's possible that some people are getting it. I know I did. I got it again this year when it was already cleared last year. So there might be some redundancy.
Yep.
I just want to let people know, I don't think you have to worry about it the second year if you got another letter.
So I would encourage people to go onto the website. There's 2 sides of the service letter. There's your private side, which is from the curb stop out at the street into the house, and a lot of people have provided us with that information. But there's also what we call the public side, which is from the curb stop out to the main. In a lot of cases, you might have provided your private side into your house, but we don't have yet the public side. We haven't dug it up to do that inspection yet. So
And it's the same letter that you get?
It's the same
Okay,
letter.
so that's kind of confusing to people.
The letter is the requirement that the verbiage is from the EPA and the DEP. We can't change the verbiage. So if either one of those is not known, we have to send that letter out that says your service line is not known.
So-
And I apologize that it's like that, but it is very specific what we can change, and we can't say, we have to send this out, this is on our side or your side. But on the website, if you go to the service line inventory tab under the water department, there's a list of everybody's service by address, and you can see if it says unknown, public or private.
Now, how would we know about the public?
You won't, and there's nothing that the.
So how come, I get it, but how come that, and I don't mean this like sarcastically or anything, how come last year when people called in and said, or whatever, it was checked? Like, for example, ours was checked and it was said, yeah, you don't have it. Why wasn't the public side checked at the same time in
Because we
efficiency?
can't easily dig up 500 services.
Okay, so what has to be dug up?
We have to dig up right at the curb stop
Okay.
and look down right at the curb stop at the edge of the street. So that's going to take us some time. It's going to take us a schedule. We are putting together a plan of where we're going to dig. Obviously, we'd like to eliminate ones that have already provided their private side information, can get them off. We want to whittle that number down. So we'll be in the spring starting to do more and more digs, but it's very time consuming. Every dig is going to take a day or two, from a
Got
planning
it.
standpoint.
So residents don't have to do anything?
Residents will not
on
have
the
to do
public side.
anything.
We
They-
just wait for you to come?
Correct.
Okay, 'cause that was,
Yes, the residents on the public side don't have to do anything, and that's where some of the confusion is.
Got
We
it.
still have a lot of unknowns on the private side. I would say and that's part of the reason that we want people to provide us the information so we can whittle down the list, but we don't have
Heather, that's
everybody.
helpful, because I got the letter and I said, oh, this was already taken care of last year.
But and we're required to send it to everybody that has unknown on either side.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
Anything else, Robin, or was that?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay, we still have,
I don't see Terry, so I don't know.
yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm just going to.
We'll skip on beyond that.
Yeah, I'm gonna, this action item A, consideration and possible action on signing the ABCC seasonal population increase estimation form and the ABCC renewal certification 2026 form.
Standard.
Yeah, is there any
Yep.
changes from last year? No. Do we have any questions? Do we have a motion
So moved.
to prove it?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Great. Moving to action item B, consideration and possible action on the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission renewal certification, licenses that failed to renew for 2026. We'll hold on that. We'll hold on C as well.
See, we're gonna withdraw, actually.
C's withdrawn, okay.
Yep, I spoke with him today, so.
Great.
It may come back, but for
Okay,
now it's.
and then, so the consideration and possible action on signing a 2026 one-day liquor license for Alice's Fitness and Dance. This is the same that they've been doing?
Yep, nothing, I don't know if anybody's here from Alice's. Anybody come?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a
No,
state,
it's okay.
She did it last year
yeah,
as
there were
well.
no concerns.
I just have a question. Does she have an entertainment license?
I don't think she doesn't need, does she need
She
it?
doesn't need one? Because I thought that I thought this was for a burlesque show.
That's what it was last year.
Yeah, but I,
Is it the same this year?
I don't know, but I don't know that it requires, entertainment, I think is for, we haven't required her to have an entertainment license last year.
No, we can check into it.
I can,
If you want to table it.
yeah, we have, what's the date of the event?
What's the date on it?
I don't want to hold her up if
The date
she's.
is on the
Yeah.
beer and wine.
The first one is January 17th.
So, yeah, so we would have to, do you want to approve it
Oh,
pending?
yes,
No, pending, and if she needs an entertainment license, then we'll have to review.
Yes. I will make a motion to approve signing a 2026 one-day liquor license for the events listed in the application on January 17th, 2025, February 21st, 2026, March 14th, 2026, March 20th, 2026, March 21st, 2026, April 18th, 2026, May 16th, 2026, June 6th, 2026, June 13th, 2026, September 12th, 2026, November 14th, 2026, November 21st, 2026, December 11th, 2026, December 12th, 2026, for beer and wine, subject to any requirement for any other type of events license or any other necessary documentation.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Great. Okay. I'm going to go into E, consideration and possible action on the reappointment of Maura O'Connor to the Municipal Affordable Housing Trust for a term to expire January 5th, 2028. Any comments? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay. And it is now 6:45. Mary, could you please read the notice?
Make a motion, the Town of Sturbridge Board of Selectmen, in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Sections 57, 58, and 59, hereby give notice that a meeting will be held on Monday, January 5, 2026, 6:45 PM, Sturbridge Town Hall, Veterans Memorial Hall, located at 308 Main Street, Sturbridge, to act on an application for a Class 2 and a Class 3 used vehicle license from Corboy Auto, Inc., 71 Mashpog Road in Sturbridge.
Okay, it is a public hearing. Is anybody here from the petitioner? Please identify yourself, sir, for the record.
Absolutely. Gary Magnuson, CMG Environmental. Sergey is stuck in traffic texting me, so he's a few minutes out, but I'll try to start answering any questions that we can.
Yeah, well, first of all, I do have a question. This letter from you frames this as a reapplication. That's not what this is. Your client, Sergey, did not appear for the application hearing, has previously set, so your client does not have an operating license, is the presentation of the board. And I have to admit to you, just as a point of initial concern, I find the framing troublesome and frankly disingenuous. So are they operating the business right now on the property?
Is he operating the business?
Is he storing vehicles on the property?
Well, there are vehicles on the property.
Is he moving vehicles on and off the property?
No. He
Okay.
doesn't have, we've been there multiple times with conservation over the last year. There's not a loader there or a machine to move equipment around.
So since the license has been revoked, has there been a static number of vehicles stored on the property?
I would say there's been a static number of vehicles stored on the storage portion of the property. I can't relate to the parking, that half-acre parking in the front.
What do you mean by the storage portion of the property?
There are three main areas that are used for storage of vehicles. One, the major concern of conservation, we'll call it the lower storage area, adjacent to the stream. Those cars, as Robin can attest to, has been walked around. Those cars have been there for 10 years. There's trees growing through them. There's a middle portion of the property that is also of conservation's concern. Those cars, I don't believe any have been moved around. There's no tracks or anything that has anything been moved around that I'm aware of. I think maybe a pickup truck might have driven up there or something, but I don't believe any cars have been moved around. And that central portion of the property is where the majority of the cars sit. And then there's the upper portion of the property, which has been defined, hello, Sergey, defined as the runway. There might be one or two cars still sitting in the woods up there. Sergey made a real conscious effort to clean up and move cars out of that area. We did a large remediation up there. There are still car parts and minor amounts of debris up there. But Sergey is here, and I'll ask him to answer your question. The question, Sergey, that I've tried to answer was, have there been vehicles moved around the property or deposited at the property since your license was revoked in April of 2025?
Not at all.
So I just explained the three areas where the cars sit. And I did say I can't speak to the area where the pavement is out in front and the residential property is, because there's been some activity there.
Yeah.
But there's not a car carrier on site, there's not a loader on site, there's nothing like that.
But
So-
autos are being stored on the site.
There are autos stored on the site.
And that is part of the license that you're seeking tonight, is storage of autos, right?
How many autos are there?
How many cars?
How many cars are there, Sergey?
I can count, give you exact number, but I would say probably within the 500
500
500?
total. Between
in all three of those areas that you described?
maybe less, but I don't want to tell you less than it's more.
Thank you.
Okay, so have you discussed with the Registry of Motor Vehicles this application for the license?
I have not. Have you, Sergey?
With the registered motor vehicles, what kind of license?
That you are seeking a license here tonight, right, sir?
It's only based from a town. Register can give you repair plates, which has got nothing to do, we apply for town licenses. Class 1 and 2 is, basically 2 and 3 is based from a town.
So the answer to the question is no.
No.
Okay. So you have not connected with the RMV on this. You've been storing vehicles for almost 2 years, 500 autos, what you said. You've remediated part of the property as some sort of conversation, I take it, with conservation, but 2 of the 3 portions of the site in question remain about the same that they were 2 years ago. Fair?
I'd say they've remained about the same as they have for 5 to 6 years, probably.
Yes.
When the permits were in place. There hasn't been a lot of activity post, or through COVID.
Okay. Have you built any buildings on the property that the town is not aware of?
No,
Ever?
no.
So you didn't, have you built any buildings that were not properly inspected by the town?
We didn't build any building, we improved one building, yes.
Okay, so you improved a building. What building did you improve?
It's one of the shops or garages.
Okay, and did you have the electrical inspector out to examine that property when you were working on that project?
No.
Okay, and did you have the building inspector out to examine that property?
We had somebody came in, but not the inspector, no. We schedule appointment, somebody come to approve?
So-
Building, somebody?
Well, we know the answer to the question. I mean, let's be,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, the reality is you built, you'll say improved, I'll say built, without having, going through the proper building and electrical processes, right?
That is correct.
What exactly did you do to that you're constituting improvement?
It was a leaking, so it was a replaced siding and insulation, and it was raised. Didn't change any perimeter, didn't change any parameters, it was raised in order to put the lift so car can be processed inside.
So you raised the building?
Yes. Same structure, same everything.
Okay. Are you aware that you've been getting fined on a daily basis by the building inspector, at least since the summertime?
I was not aware,
Are you aware right now?
aware right now, yes,
Okay, are you aware of the court proceeding you have tomorrow?
yes.
Do you intend on appearing?
I'm planning to be there.
Okay. Do you plan to have someone there? Do you plan to have a representative there?
A lawyer, she said she is not able to come, but I will be there.
Oh, so you are going. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you said you were not going. Did I misunderstand?
Yeah, I said I planning to be there.
Oh, planning
Lawyer,
to, right.
she's not available.
I apologize. So why did you not show up to the last hearing?
It's only happened, we have so many meetings, and it was a conservation, it was between license and everything. I think they fall one after another. As we schedule one, I realize a week later, after a meeting, that I missed it. It was not for any reason disrespect, or it just, I guess, was too many. I thought someone is Jennifer, who is attorney, represent me. I thought she is keeping an eye on. Somehow it fell through. She didn't see it. I didn't see it until it was after. Because some mail do come to the office, 71 Masha Pug Road, and I don't have always, every day to check the mail.
Okay, and so you seem to, and I don't mean this in a pejorative way, but it's a lot of I don't know, and I didn't know that, I wouldn't know that, how do I know that? And you have 500 autos on the site, right?
500,
Cars on the site, right?
yes.
Is that correct? And so how many do you have in West Springfield on that site?
How,
How many cars do you have in West Springfield on the site that you have there?
in Springfield side?
Yep.
Probably about 250 cars.
And what is and what functions are engaged on there? Like what happens in Springfield?
Well, we remove parts, we sell parts.
Okay, and this is a highly regulated industry, right?
Yes.
And you have an attorney because it's a highly regulated industry, right?
No.
Okay, so you don't have an attorney because it's a highly regulated industry. But you received notice that your permit was not being renewed, or at least there was a hearing about whether or not it should be renewed, right?
Yes.
Okay. And did you receive that before that hearing?
Did I receive what?
Did you receive that notice before the day of that hearing?
It was so much.
So that's a yes, sir, or a no?
Okay, answer no.
Okay, so, but, so, and so your answer to the question is no, because you received so much material.
I answer no because I received when it was too late. Somehow it got into my hands, and I look at the date, it was already in past.
So, and the fines that you've paid, have you received those?
When you say on a regular basis, do you mean somebody come every day and put the ticket? Because that never happened.
I believe you're receiving daily fines, but have you, are you aware that you've been fined by the town of Sturbridge for illegally operating a business?
And I was fined illegally? Yes.
You said that you were fined illegally?
I didn't find, it's,
Step back. I think you're getting a little confused, and that's probably my fault. So my question to you is this. When did you become aware that the town was fining your business?
like a month ago.
Okay. And why didn't you receive those fines?
Why did I?
I said, you're telling me that you didn't receive those fines. Do you know why that you did not receive those fines?
As what I see notice, it looked like he came one day and write about 30 violations in one day.
Okay.
I guess when I came to pick it up the mail, or they sent it through attorney, somehow they got into my hands, yes.
Okay.
But order was, I cannot touch the cars by conservation, but code enforcement telling me to move it. In regarding whatever decision I'll make, I am in violation.
Well, I think that's probably true, but not for the reasons you stated. Okay, so where are, at this point, this is a reapplication, is how you're trying to frame this. That's just not true. Your license lapsed. This is a new application, and because it involves a property for a lapsed license, my understanding is that the town isn't even permitted to reissue this license without approval by the Registry of Motor Vehicles. And to be frank, even if that were not the case, I don't know why we would. Because I'll be honest with you, sir, I don't believe you. I think this has been a lot of games and a lot of playing the left hand against the right side. And when you're dealing with one of the dirtiest properties in the community in a highly regulated agency, and you're experienced and you have counsel, you have competent engineer, I don't know why we'd reissue this business permit. And if the rest of the board would like to comment on it, I'll turn it to them and then open it to the public, but.
I can tell you.
Well, no,
If you ask.
I'm not asking, to be honest with you. I'm making my statement. So at this point,
Are you saying you only became aware a month ago of these fines? Is that what your position is? Have you paid the fines?
I think when we was at the meeting, I'm not sure if you was there, it was about 13 people. I think conservation, they say they gonna write a ticket, but they got in my hands since I saw them. It was like a month ago. That's the statement. That's how it is.
How about the building inspector fines?
Not even one. I'm not aware to this day there is a fine for a building inspector. What building?
There was a notice about 2 or
Notice?
3 years ago,
Yes.
and that, I spoke with Robin about that, and we put that aside to address conservation. He said, once we get conservation addressed, we would address that. And
you unilaterally elected to put it aside.
But was no fine, was no.
I wasn't aware of it.
Understood. And the building inspector has since fined you, I believe, since the summertime, and there's a hearing about this tomorrow in district court, right?
I'm not aware of that.
It's in a paper, it does not specify what I'm even go for a court for.
Okay, well, I'm not going to make you talk about a separate legal matter in that way, but Mary, do you have other questions?
Well, I'm not in a position to approve this, whether we characterize it as a reapplication. I happen to agree with our chair. It's a new application, and we've got a court proceeding tomorrow, correct? So I think this is not appropriate tonight to be issuing any licenses at this point in time.
Yeah, Mary Lou?
I totally agree. I don't think we should issue it.
All right, well, this is a public hearing, so does anybody from the public like to say anything? All right, I don't think this requires a vote, does it, Robin, to close it?
No, not vote to close the public
I
hearing.
mean, well, we have to vote to close the public hearing,
Public
but,
hearing, and,
but then we don't have to vote not to approve it, we can just let
no,
it.
I think you can take no action, or you could vote not to approve and
Okay.
have it die that way, but either way.
Okay,
You can
well-
have a motion with no second.
All right, let's do the following. I make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? I vote not to approve. I make a motion to not approve the application presented here tonight.
Second.
Those in favor? Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, moving on to department reports. Terry? Yep, there you are. Hey, Terry. How you doing? All right.
Okay, thank you.
Terry, everybody must be mad at you or something. No, nothing, I'm being silly. So how's it going? Let's, where would you like to start, sir? So, no worries, it's okay. Go ahead, Terry.
Sorry, Tara.
Francis is gonna.
Francis, you gotta get that, no big deal.
We're taking a look at the year for 2025. I'm going to cover consumer spending trends. We have 2 business surveys. A good example of the one-stop shop business service model. A review of retail activity from 2024 through 2025. Some examples of how we are promoting and marketing Sturbridge. And then some of the statistics we have for attendance and visitorship data. Also discussing construction of a new building on Route 20, which is very positive. And then there have been a series of positive events in 2025 that are worth talking about. And then to identify some future efforts and aspirational goals and initiatives.
Great.
Meal spending, and I have the figures there, and I want to say that what I have for fall of 2025 is an estimate, and I'm estimating the same amount of revenue as last fall, in order to give you this evening what I think might be the year-end number, which would be 6% more than the previous year. And it's worth noting that if you look at the summer and go down summer 25 to summer 24 to summer 23, it's all $21.6 million. And then right below that is $20 million. Certainly recovered from COVID in 2020, but those numbers have been consistent. And then if you look at spring and winter for 2025, they both took big jumps over 2024. And then 24 also was a good jump from 2023. So, and the other funny part about this set of numbers is that all the quarter results for 2025 are $21 million. So in essence, winter and spring was good, and summer was kind of flat. And you have to factor in the fact that the price of food has gone up, so that might, indicate some of the increases. And I know, so I list that as a caveat to consider. And I think it's fair to assume that fall may be better, because fall is often more popular in many ways. So that's where we are with the meals. Hotel, and some talking points I'll sit on. Go back to the meals, thank you. 2025 experienced meal spending increases of 16% in the winter and 10% in the spring, but summer saw no increase, with spending the same since 2020. Winter and spring have seen consistent increases, but summer and fall have been steady with no increases. And we are also seeing less of a seasonal fluctuation between winter, spring to summer, fall. 2026 may see consistent seasonal spending, which is a good thing, because there's no, it's winter, no one's going to come here and spend money. So that's good. So hotel, again, you look at 2025, it says that in the winter 25, everything exploded. It went from 3.2 million to 4.9 million. And I called Mike Harrington at Public House to say, did you notice a big boom in hotel revenue? And he said he did not. So I don't know if DOR posts what they collect in a sort of, they collect it as they get it, or there's some other way. So, but nevertheless, $5 million for the winter is an outlier. You can see in the spring, there was a drop from 4.7 to 3.6. Then in the summer, hotel revenue went from 6.4 million up to 7 million. And I project, just to be conservative, that for this fall, let's say we see the same amount of revenue, we'll come out with $22 million in hotel spending, which is right in line with the previous 2 years, and it won't affect the calculation that Barbara has to make for the STA set aside. And I like to do that for Barbara, so she has some, early reliance or awareness of where we're headed. So we rely on the hotel spending numbers. We used to subscribe to the CoStar Smith Travel Research Study, but not every hotel in Sturbridge participates in it. So the numbers there might not be as accurate as just how much was collected in hotel tax. So my talking points are the 2025 hotel revenues are going to be a 6% over the year before. Hotel revenues have averaged a consistent 20 to 21 million since 2023. In the spring, revenues dropped 23%, and then fall revenues were 5 to 8% lower than 23 and 22. Hotel visitorship remains seasonal, with a shift of 80 to 20% from winter to summer and fall. So, worth mentioning. We did 2 surveys, a new one and a continual traditional one, which was, first was, what did businesses think of the year 2025? And we sent out the survey to about 75 businesses on my distribution list, and I got 22 responses. So I was very happy with that. I think that's a good amount of feedback. So the question was, how was 2025 for your business? 4 said great and 11 said good. So that's 15 are saying it's good to great. 4 said break even, and 2 said it had some challenges. Was 2025 better, worse, or the same as 2024? 1 said better, 4 said the same, and 2 said not better. So there's mixed there. What is your outlook for 2026? 9 were positive and 9 were cautiously optimistic. 1 said break even and 2 were concerned, so that's also a good response. What percentage of your customers are within 35 miles? 25% said 3 said 25%. Nobody answered the 25 to 50% quadrant. 2 said 51 to 75%, and 2 said 76 to 100%. And this is consistent with last year, and you'll see these in some of these other questions. Everybody sort of feels everybody comes from all the directions. There's no one main Hudson River that, drives visitors here. They're coming for different reasons and from different places.
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course, yeah.
Is this just all businesses or just hotels that you're talking about right now?
No, I sent it to 75 businesses, including hotels and the small shops.
So I must be reading this wrong. So it says, when you say 25% 3, 50%, so am I reading this right, that only 7 businesses responded to that question?
Some of them don't answer all the questions.
Okay, so,
So I think it's about 18 plus 3, so about 21 responded. So that's on right.
yeah, but for the individual, and sometimes it's just a handful. I'm reading that right?
Yes, yes, yeah. What percentage are from beyond 35 miles? 6% up, 6 respondents said up to 24%, and 1 respondent said 76 to 100%. And here's the summary question. Do you feel visitors come from all over? 15 said yes, and 6 said more local or regional. So that's consistent with what we've heard last year. Does your business benefit from RV visitors? 3 said many, 8 said not many, 4 said none, and 6 said hard to measure. So 8, 12 is 18 basically said not many, none, or hard to measure, which is interesting. Do events at the host generate patronage? 1 said yes, many, 6 said a fair amount, and 14 said hard to measure. Are weddings a patronage driver, customer-driven driver? 7 said very strong, very much so, 6 said a fair amount, and 8 said hard to measure. So that's almost an even divide, but still, that's a better answer than earlier ones, that they are. And we do feel that Sturbridge will experience 250 to 350 weddings a year between the host, Table 3, and the public house. Does OSV generate patronage? 3 said that it generated strong patronage, 9 said modest, and 8 said hard to measure. So 17 said modest to hard to measure, and 3 said strong. Are there regions worth marketing to? And here again, it was varied answers. 5 said Boston, 5 said Eastern Massachusetts and the Cape, and 5 said all of the above. Does Brimfield generate foot traffic? 11 said strong, 5 said middling, 5 said hard to measure, so 16 said yes to strong, and 5 said hard to measure. So to me, that's an interesting answer, and that's more stronger than some of the other questions. We started to do business exit interviews to try to go to businesses that leave, to ask them questions as to what was their experience like, what precipitated their move. We've gotten 2 answers so far, and we've contacted 3 other businesses. And the 2 answers that I have so far is there a reason for your departure? 1 said moving away. Again, the second one didn't answer all the questions. Was your business financially positive? 1 said yes, the other said mixture of positive challenges. Was your building owner a positive person to work with? And 2 said yes, it was. How do you feel about rents and leasing costs? 1 said it was hard to balance rents against sales and revenue, but it did not. The other person did not answer that question. Would you open a business in Sturbridge again? 2 said yes. What is your business outlook for Sturbridge? 1 said cautiously optimistic, and another 1 said positive. Retail overview. We've noted that we have, and this number will increase, but we have 125 varied businesses along Route 20, and they are 4 bakery and dessert makers, 4 coffee and tea businesses, which is about to become 5, 32 restaurants, eateries, and markets, 3 orchards, 3 wineries, and 6 brew pubs. It's within the town and just outside the town. 3 wedding venues, 11 hotels, motels, 3 RV parks, 31 specialty shops, and 25 health, wellness, spas, and fitness businesses. And then the breakdown is there. Food and beverage is almost 42%, almost half. Hotels are 11%. Retail at 31 is 25%. And those are the breakdowns there. The last 2 years have seen a number of openings and closings, and I list them out in detail. The 12 opens and the 12 closings. It's 12 and 12, which is an interesting number because it's kind of consistent with the fact we don't have a lot of, when a storefront goes vacant, it's often filled, so we're not left with 6 or 7, and we'll get into that number. But interesting, there's a new photography business, a new candle company at the Milliard Building. The little rest stop is taken over the restaurant that's on, off of
148.
148. I was going to say Route 48, 148. And then the closings have been listed there. And then we have 3 businesses coming in, which would be a Frisbee's Ice Cream franchise, if you will, the Manja Benny restaurant, and 5 Star Games. So that would be welcome additions. So the retail summary is there are 125 tourism-related businesses in Sturbridge. There are 143 business platforms, whether that be a building or a multi-tenanted building for them. Most are locally owned, driving hundreds of jobs and spending. There were 6 vacancies in 2023, 5 in 2024, and 7 in 2025. So roughly the vacancy rate is 4.8%, which is low. We've tried to, as Robin has said, to try to serve businesses with a one-stop example principle. And one example is that during 2025, a technology business expressed an interest in expanding within Sturbridge versus an out-of-state location. Town officials, Robin Grimm, Jean Bouban, and myself, along with 2 officials from the Commonwealth and Mass Development, met with this business several times together as a team. An incentive letter from the Commonwealth was delivered as potential town incentives were discussed, and I think that was highly impressive to get that as the deal was going on. The owner of this building was also represented in his ability to house the expansion, the potential expansion. And although the matter is still in process, out of this is coming the construction of it.
And if I could, they did receive Massachusetts Office of Economic Development major credits about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think I sat in on a meeting with the state, and they are receiving credit from them. Some are refundable credits, some non-refundable credits, but significant amount of funding from the state for this business.
Yeah, I think bringing everybody
Really
together.
prominent manufacturing that may bring in high-end manufacturing jobs, about 64 or 68 high-end manufacturing jobs.
Great.
Yeah, very good stuff on this one. Thanks, Tara.
And out of that comes the construction of this building, which the building owner feels that if this particular project may not develop, he feels there's a market for the building. So he's building the building on spec in many ways.
Already the foundation's in and
Yeah.
it's going.
So that's all positive for the town. Major industrial businesses in Sturbridge, as we said, Lightera, Fiber Optic, Arlen Tool, G&F, Corex Cold Storage, New England Cold Storage, and the Photonis Optical Vision Devices. And Sturbridge at a glance, there's some of the statistics that we've seen before. You have 3 industrial manufacturing companies, 2 cold storage, 3 conference centers, 2 RV parks, 1 travel center. It's an interesting array.
Convenient MD, which
We're
probably,
gonna get
getting
there.
there? Okay,
We're
I don't
gonna
have
get
made your
there.
list yet.
We're going to get there. Marketing Sturbridge, I want to talk a little bit about this, and you have a copy of Sarah Martin's last quarter to give you an idea of what she does to promote the town. And there's some, it's worth reading some of this because the detail gives you an idea, the depth of how this digital promotion reaches so many people. So since 2022, the STA has retained Break the Ice Media to work on promoting Sturbridge through advertising campaigns, website management, and digital platform messaging. Some outreach figures are 39 visitors to the website in 2025, 57,000 visitors in 2024. In 2025, 376,000 people viewed messages on Facebook and Instagram, 309,000 in 2024. Online ad campaigns reached 250,000 people in 2025. And to give you a specific example, because of some of those numbers just seem so crazy, It's worth saying the Acorn project had 51,000 views, 662 interactions, 433 click links, 484 likes, 49 comments, 107 shares, and 22 saves. So out of the total viewership, then it descended into different ways that viewers handled it. But still, the reach, is very, very impressive. BTI, Break the Ice, also delivers several blogs per month on various business spotlights, focuses, and tourism topics for the website. And then you can see an attached copy of the marketing report. So under positive events for 2025, first was the decorative cow effort, which we all participated in along with Old Sturbridge Village as a way to promote attractive public art and also increase attractions and visitors to the town. And here we have some members of the Discover Central Massachusetts staff standing in front of their cow. And then we had in August, Zip Trip came to Sturbridge, and Channel 25 brought their show to Sturbridge. So for 4 hours, the show showcased Sturbridge on the Old Sturbridge Village Common. It included a 4-hour TV program, along with exhibit booths for about 14 Sturbridge organizations and businesses. And we also had, in July, Channel 25 came through and interviewed, we did 8 or 9 businesses, and then they encapsulated that into a 4-minute news report of visiting Sturbridge, which was very, very positive. In September, we had what they call a FAM tour, or familiarization tour, sponsored by Discover Central Massachusetts, in which the state's tourism secretary and her staff came to visit Sturbridge and receive a tour of local businesses and Old Sturbridge Village. And here's a picture of everybody on the campus. And then it was followed by a FAM tour luncheon at Public House. And you can see there's Robin and 3 of the Mott staffers and Monique Messier from Discover Central Massachusetts. Then just last month, we had a ribbon cutting for Convenient MD Care, which will be a real asset for the town to have. And this will provide, good health care for people so they don't have to travel further if it's the right kind. And it's important to say that they were very happy at this ribbon cutting, to say that they appreciated the way the town handled the entire application approval and review process. They felt it went very quickly, and they were able to open up in very short order, and that's a positive. Business of the Year Award program, we have been doing that now. We've been doing it for many years, and then it stopped with COVID, and then resumed it. So we are about to announce the 2025 winners at the Board of Selectmen meeting on January 20th. And these are some pictures of previous winners that we've had. And the number of people who participated in the survey to vote was over 900. So it was very good turnout in terms of going onto the Survey Planet site, and that was positive. That was a lot. Visitorship and attendance is always good to see who's coming, and they're coming from different places. Old Sturbridge Village feels that the 2020, the Massachusetts 250th semi-quincentennial will boost attendance up to perhaps 300,000. So I list that as a potential to bring more people here. So that's where that is. Future efforts and initiatives. I'm working to establish a business counseling relationship with either the Springfield or the Worcester SBDC. I'm speaking to both of them. They kind of view Sturbridge as like in the middle zone. But either way, we'll work that out. And then to go ahead and offer this as a small business resource to every business in the town. Also in January, February, and March, make an effort to go out and visit Sturbridge businesses. It's the quiet time of the year. There should be time for that. I'm very happy to continue to work to support the chamber. I have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9:30 with Erica Howard and Virginia Murphy. We've met once before and tried to explore ways that we can work together. We've done some cooperation with the Public Service Announcement Panel sign on Route 20. I'm exploring, but price is going to obviously be a concern, is to see how we could perhaps update the economic assessment that was done in 2021 for Sturbridge. I received one quote, which was kind of high, and now I'm talking to Central Massachusetts Regional Planning to see what kind of price they might offer to talk about it. And then I think you have it, we are doing a illustrated map of Sturbridge. And that's about to arrive at any moment. The artist is working on it, and I think that'll be a real positive for hotel desks, for websites. It's an add-on to the guide to give someone sort of an illustrated aerial view, so someone could say, here's where Route 20 is, here's where the restaurants are, here's where the town common is, and it'll also look very attractive when it comes out. I want to leave with some levity, and I will throw up some old postcards. I collected a 1960s postcard of the old Sturbridge Village lodges, and there are other postcards that say that is the former Liberty Cap Motel. And then I found a 1960s postcard of the entrance to Old Sturbridge Village, and you can see what a big sign they had out there back then. And then there's the building that's now Sawdust Coffee House. And then I collected a 1960s postcard of Pine Lake Family Camping Area, which is now Pine Lake RV. And I'm going to send the card to Phil Moreau, the CEO of Pine Lake. And then I attached the current picture of the Thousand Trails RV Park. So.
That's great, Terry, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you, Terry, that was very thorough. I guess I don't totally understand what this counseling business relationship and that we'll offer as a resource to our businesses. I don't know what that means. It's one of your earlier ones where you said we're kind of caught between Worcester and Springfield, but you're trying to establish a business counseling relationship.
So that if a business wants help with accounting, marketing, planning, hiring, they can go to SBDC today and get that for free.
Okay.
So whether it's the Worcester SBDC office, which is at Clark University, or it's the Springfield
And what
SBDC.
kind of assistance will they obtain again? Like,
How to balance a business plan, how to balance their books, how to
okay,
deal
so a
with
lot of
employment law.
business-oriented advice?
Yes.
So for an average small business person who wants to start a bakery, for example, and doesn't know how to make sure their accounting is right and their workers' comp insurance.
So it's kind of like schooling, really,
Yes,
like seminars type of thing,
one-on-one.
one-on-one.
You know.
Almost like counseling, really, guidance and
Okay,
consulting.
with the counseling, that's
More like
what
a
kind of
consulting
confused
kind of
me.
thing.
Like, it sounds more like consulting,
Yes.
yeah, thank you.
And it's worth promoting it because a lot of businesses just don't take advantage of it. They don't, they just don't. And so it's never hurts to really put this message out. And now when you've got so many businesses opening up and closing, it's going to be a good idea to say, hey, this is here and it's for free, and it's valid, it's competent, it's.
And this-
And you get things right at the foundation,
Nice.
then you don't have issues.
And this isn't a commentary on you, but, you know, in terms of that survey you did, when so few respond, I find personally, it's very not helpful. And again, it's not your survey per se, but when only a couple respond, and I'm not sure how many
Would you say?
conclusions we can draw. And also, like, some of the questions, I don't know how a restaurant would know if their patronage is 35 miles away or not, without asking the server, hey, did you
I think a
inquire?
lot of
if
people
they-
actually do mention that, because there's a lot of people in the parts of Connecticut and Brimfield that come as regulars and stuff.
And so you
they
think
would-
an
they
owner would be
have-
able to
They would
know
have a sense
that?
of it, not, they wouldn't know X percentage, but I think you'd be surprised how much they do know.
Really? Okay.
So are you saying that 22 responses out of 75 was low?
I'm saying the answer to some of the specific
the problem, right,
questions
right.
were
Oh, okay.
very not
22, but they didn't all
illuminative.
respond to every
If
question.
all
Yeah.
22 responded, yes, but when one person thinks the outlook is positive, or one person says they can't weigh the cost of rent versus their revenue, I mean, we can't draw too many conclusions, that's all.
That makes sense.
And the only other thing I wanted to comment on is, we're working on trying to be better about that one stop for licenses. Because I know they were very nice about it, but I remember one restaurant
We're rectifying that
was
situation.
confused as to what they needed to do.
Yes.
So we're
We
working on
pulled
that.
up the 2014
Yeah, 'cause-
document with the permit flow charts and revising it.
Nice.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
Terry.
Terry. We
Thanks, Terry.
appreciate you. All right,
This
please.
It's a nice valuable, unlike some of the stuff I, recycle, this I'm
It's not
gonna
gonna
hold
hit the
on
shredder.
to. This one,
Thanks, Terry.
thank you, good job.
Lieutenant?
Hey, and sir.
Chief Carr apologizes he couldn't be here, he wasn't feeling 100% tonight, so
Okay.
I don't know if he apologizes for that or if.
We told him, don't come if you're sick.
We're docking him regardless.
We don't want him sick.
Going over 2 monthly reports for October and November. For October, our calls for service were 2,336. Business as usual for the month. A couple of key points for the month. October 23rd, members participated in bus evacuation drills at the high school. October 28th, there were 7 motor vehicle accidents between the Walmart Plaza and the Extra Mart, just in that short span of roadway. 3 of those were with injuries. Throughout the month, certified department personnel properly installed 6 child safety car seats for residents of the town. Neighborhood patrols were 182, 105 radar assignments, and a total of 299 motor vehicle stops for the month. For school calls, we had a couple of Section 12s, those are mental health calls, walk-in 911 trace investigations, ambulance calls. Those are all involved with juveniles. Nothing further to report for October.
Any questions on October?
Okay, for November, we had 2,251 calls for service for the month of November. Again, business as normal for the month. A couple of key points, November 5th, Deputy Chief Lombardi, myself, Officer Wyden attended the AAA award ceremony, which was held in Westboro. Officer Wyden received a AAA's Hero Traffic Safety Award for the year of 2025.
That's great.
And we received an award as well for the agency.
Nice.
Yeah, really great.
November 29th, there were 7 motor vehicle accidents between Walmart Plaza and the Extra Mart. Again, 3 with injury. Throughout the month, certified department personnel installed 6 child safety seats for the town residents. The dates between November 10th and the 14th and the 17th through the 21st, Officer Taitula, our Burgess School Resource Officer, attended DARE training in New Hampshire. He successfully completed that training. He's now a certified DARE officer. So we'll start those trainings soon. For the month, 126 neighborhood patrols were conducted, 128 radar assignments, and a total of 352 motor vehicle stops for the month. For school calls, student drop-offs at Burgess Elementary School, there was only 1 alarm call there, 1 911 call, 1 foot patrol. For the high school, we had a couple of investigations there, student allegedly selling vapes, and an animal complaint there for an injured bobcat. Other than that, nothing significant at the schools to report.
Did the ambulance transport him?
Bobcat?
Yeah.
I think the animal control officer did that transport.
All right. I think that's, any questions?
I just have one. I know that our business and house checks have gone up from last year. What does that entail? Do you do a drive-by daily, weekly, or? when you do-
It all depends on their business, and it all depends on the house check. So if a resident comes in and fills out a house check request form, then we'll go to the residents. We know they're not home, they don't know we're on vacation, then we'll actually do a foot patrol of the house, check doors, check windows.
Oh, you do that thorough a check?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep.
And if they get in, they get to keep anything.
unless they request something different. Because on the request form, they can ask that we just do a drive-by.
It's actually great service.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was to that level
Yeah.
of detail. And how about with the business, same way?
Say, well, businesses, if we know they're closed, we'll get out and check doors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At the business's request or just,
That's just normal practice.
oh, that's just normal practice? Pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
All right, I think that's everything from us. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Lieutenant.
folks.
Chief.
Thank you, Chief. I know, what's on it?
Happy New Year.
Hey, you doing, Chief?
I will be brief. You have November's report, and I believe you have a cover memo from me regarding the month of December. Our fine state has changed their reporting requirements, and our records management system is working to get on board with that so they can provide us the reporting that I generally provide to you. Couple of items of note. November, we responded to Charlton for a house fire on mutual aid, and in the beginning of November, we responded to the Amherst fire that destroyed the Olympia Place apartment complex. No injuries in either of those, thankfully. The year-end numbers, which I will get to you once I can get into the reporting system, the big number is we responded to 2,508 calls for service this year, about a 4.25% increase over last year. So we are maintaining a busy service.
Great, questions?
Chief, do you anticipate increased call volume with the Convenient MD opening?
I do. Right now, in the 3 weeks that they've been open, we're averaging 3 times a week. And I truly believe that that's going to go up. I'm going to guesstimate 3 to 5 times a week, and that may be even conservative,
And
once the word gets out that they're open and what their services are.
So I do think we're going to need to look at the impact of that, and I do think we had a discussion today, in fact, about ambulance billing and ambulance billing for non-residents versus residents. And I think that this is a policy that I will be looking to bring to this board at some point, because we've always had a policy of not billing other than what healthcare pays or Medicare pays. And I think maybe we need to look at a difference for residents versus non-residents now, because we are going to be transporting a lot of non-residents
Right.
disproportionately. I mean, we've always done to some degree some because of the highways. We have a lot more non-residents than a lot of communities might. But now that situation's going to dramatically change. And I do think that that's something that I will probably put in front of this board at some point to
How
take a
does
look at.
Southbridge deal with it with Harrington? Because they must get more calls. Well, I guess they're there already, though.
Yeah.
So that really wouldn't, so they probably have an ambulance company. to
This is
bill
something I'm
fast, right?
very familiar with from my previous
Yeah.
position, and it's really, it becomes a big burden.
Yeah.
To Robin's point, we only collect a fraction of what we bill because of Medicare and Medicaid. And if we could find a way to close some of that gap, it would benefit us and the town.
Without burdening residents.
Right.
Because I
right.
think a lot of communities will waive the difference for a resident because you're paying taxes effectively, so you
And who
pay.
owns this? So this is a private urgent care? I'm not that
Yep.
familiar with it.
Yes.
9 out of the 10 patients we've transported have been non-Sturbridge residents so far already.
And are you taking them to the city for the most part?
It varies. It varies based on the nature of the call.
Right.
So it's going to UMass either way?
Some are going to Harrington.
But it's UMass now too, right?
Yes, yeah,
So
UMass either way, right.
Distance-wise, it's,
So maybe
those are
that's
quicker.
maybe that's an angle to discuss it, because I know what you're saying, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just, it gets tough because because we're not gonna probably wanna go to collections on it. And then, I've been down that road and it just doesn't, it's a
It's diminishing
process.
returns,
Yeah, and then
too.
then someone's just making money on the collections on some point, and you're not really getting a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
I
money
typically do
back.
with a percentage, like they take 10% of what they get,
Right.
you know, before
No,
you
I
get
know,
something,
but
I-
it's a pretty brutal
Yeah, it is.
space to get into. So I know what you're saying too. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just, it just seems like there's a better way.
But I think
to
we
do
are
it.
gonna have
I think there are options we can look at
And we're preliminary
aside
at this
from
point.
collections.
Yeah.
If almost we were part of a larger system of government, such as a state.
You don't want that.
No,
Anyway.
But, no, I mean, and I bring it up only because we're very preliminary. We literally had this discussion 6 hours ago today.
No,
So,
no,
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there to put it on your radar that we are, because you asked the question. I wasn't gonna bring it up tonight because I don't have enough sort of documentation or numbers for you, but since you asked the question, I do think it's important to at least get it on the board's radar, that it is something we are gonna have to look at.
I will just say this, my concern is that if we're taking patients from there, we're not in town.
I know.
To
Sure.
take care
Yeah, no.
of the town residents.
It makes sense. I'm not, it's a problem, but,
Make sure you bring that up to finance when you go for more personnel.
Did you talk to her today? God, if you heard the conversations we had today and this, you'd be shaking your head right now, Mary Lou.
it's,
Oh, boy.
I just can't get it out of my
it's
system.
just that union, you know? It's just that union that's the problem.
Invited this guy to the meeting.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chief.
it.
Thank you. Oh, Alice is here from Alice's Fitness.
Oh.
So, and I did look, I didn't see that we even have an entertainment license listed for the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do not, so they already actually, Alice, if you want to just, you want to have Alice just come up, because you
Sure.
approved it pending, so just,
sure if I had missed her or not.
yeah, but we didn't know if they had any further questions for you.
Well, I think it was just more of a licensing
Yep.
question on
Yep.
Whether or not there was a entertainment
Yeah, we do
license
not.
necessary.
Yeah, we do not have,
I don't have one?
you do not need one.
I do not
We
need
do not,
one.
we
Okay.
gotta do a separate entertainment license.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see one in the book, did you, Francis?
She doesn't have an entertainment.
No,
Okay.
no, but we
So,
don't,
you're good, right?
I don't think we, right, we don't have one.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but
Entertainment? Yes.
it's a good question, though.
We do have a live entertainment.
But it's not, we're not gonna hold you up.
Yeah,
But it
okay.
is,
I looked at it in the
I
permit.
just
So-
wanted
I
to
do
know, that's
remember
all.
this being brought up at some point.
Talked about it last time.
Right, yes.
if not redundant.
Yeah.
No, but you're all set.
Am I set? Okay.
Yeah, it's-
We'll figure it out as we
yeah,
go.
Thank you for
here,
coming.
yes.
Okay,
So
and
sorry.
will I get an email about when they're ready and how much I owe and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
And if
Okay,
there's any further licensing that you do require, we will.
I'll help
right
you
away.
along that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you for coming in.
Someone remind me of this conversation next year.
No.
Well, in Francis, we do have the live entertainment, but I looked at my list and I don't see the parameters on it, so I've got to find out.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get back to the item B, which is consideration and possible action on Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission renewal certification. Licenses have failed to renew for 2026 G&L Group license number 08614.RS-1248. What is this?
That was the Trail Dusters license that did
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to make a motion to, so what are we looking, we're just not doing anything?
You have to sign the document.
You just have to sign it, so motion to approve the form.
A motion to approve the form representing that the renewal failed, or they did not renew. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Okay. Consideration and possible action on the appointment of Keith DeVarnay, I'm probably saying that wrong, DeVarnay, to the Sturbridge Tourist Association for term to expire June 30th, 2027. You have any questions, guys? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
I'm not going to try and pronounce that name.
I'm going to make a motion to accept the donation, $250 from the Federated Church for the Sturbridge Fire Department, with our thanks, because the Federated Church is just a great community member. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Great. I'm going to then also, going to action item H, consideration possible action on accepting a donation of $200 from My Guys Heating and, is that supposed to be cooling? Yeah, of North Oxford for the Home of the Brave 5K. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a
Second.
All those in favor? Great. I'm going to make a motion to accept the donation of $626 from Deep Roots Distillery for the police K-9 account. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? And again, thanks to them for being a great community partner. And then we're going to J, consideration and possible action on signing the one-year memorandum of understanding with the Teamsters, Local 170, and the Sturbridge DPW, effective July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026.
Just for clarification, it's the one-year contract based on the MOU that you approved in
Okay.
executive session. This is just the public voting of the actual one-year contract.
Okay.
So you have the document, I think we got it to you today with it's just basically incorporated the MOA and the updated wage scale.
Just right to me. Any questions from the board?
Nope.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to sign the one-year memorandum of understanding with the Teamsters Union Local 170 and the Sturbridge DPW, effective July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2026.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Thanks, guys. We really
And we will
appreciate you.
start in February to start a new 3-year.
Right back into it.
We're back at it in a couple weeks.
Well, thanks for the help, guys. And
Good night.
and we do appreciate you, Jim.
Thanks, Heather.
And you two out there. I didn't even know you were there still. All right. Old business. Mary Lou.
Nothing.
Mary Dowling?
No.
I have to do the, we have to review to you, which is all fine, and we have to review that, and we have to set a retreat, but again, it's tough to do with 3 of the 4 of us.
Yeah. Maybe like end of January, February.
Yeah, just something in the, soon. And then, new business, I have none. Mary Dowling?
No.
Mary Lou?
None.
Okay. Correspondence, I don't think we had any. Approval of minutes. I am looking at the December 15, 2025 minutes. Do we have any edits?
None from me.
Then do we have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the 2022, December 2022 minutes as written.
15.
Oh, December 15th minutes as written.
Yeah. I'll second it. All those in favor? Great. I was not at the December 22nd, 2025 meeting, so I don't have any edits. Are there any edits from anybody who's here?
No.
I think we can still approve it, though,
We
right?
approve
I think
it?
it only requires a
Decided
majority
you
of
can.
the quorum.
Majority of the quorum.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the Monday, December 22, 2025 meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor? And I abstain. Citizens forum, none.
The room cleared out pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to the executive session with a comment on whether or not, the executive session, Mary Dowling?
Oh, I make a motion that pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, a motion to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the government's bargaining or litigation position, I think it should say, and the chair so declares,
I do.
and not to reconvene in open session, and also to move into executive session pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general or special law or federal grant and aid requirements. If the chair so declares, and not to reconvene in open session.
Mary Lou, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mary Dowling?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So we are now in executive session.